Cha-cha-cha. Oh yeah, we got some conferences today. Today, tomorrow, and then next Tuesday. Ah, yes, I see now. Oh, yes. Hey, Vincenzo, how we doing, brother? Hope everybody's doing alright. Should be doing alright. Mm. 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 Hey, Joe, how you doing, brother? Hope everybody's doing alright. Happy Tuesday. Oh, yes, make sure to like the stream, share the stream, uh, kiss the stream, hug the stream. Oh, yeah. Good old spy calls, huh? They were losing faith, huh? They were losing faith. Ugh. That's a shame. You know, it's like that song says, you know, you gotta have a little faith in me. Woo! LAC up 5.5%. Above 5. I remember saying, right? Like all these days, like, yo, bro, I'd be a buyer, sub 5. Sub 5 is a buy. It's gonna make you money. Boom, look at that. You're already above 5. Look at that. Made your money already. Too easy. I tell you all the time, too easy. You think I'm being cocky? Hey, there he is, Big Lou. What's going on, brother? How you feeling now, huh? Everything coming up a little bit? Feel a little better? Spy calls here, by the way. Spy calls. Spy calls for anyone who missed it, in my opinion. Spy calls. Spy calls here, in my opinion. Hey, Skell, how you doing? Feeling better? Yep, yep. This is what I mean. Listen, you have to remember also, if I was always correct and it happened and the move happened immediately, you would have never met me, bro. I would have had my own island like 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So, this is why I say just relax, trust the process. That's what it all comes down to. And listen, I know it's rough because I know it feels like the negativity and you know the losses are like following you, but that's what I mean. Even being a little early this morning, right? You know, it's like you had that reaction, like I got to stop trading for a few weeks. It's just not working. Like that. That's why I say, like, you got to stay positive, bro. Don't even let those thoughts enter, and trust the process. Look at that. Now we're above 66.60. Look at that. Highs of the day. Continuing. I just said spy calls, right? So if you jumped in, you're up already. Hey, look at a white tiger. You're in those SPY calls, right, brother? Hey, Killian, how we doing, brother? As long as I have capital, I will be trading. 150% off SPY calls. Bada bing, bada boom. And this is what I mean. This is why, again, unless markets completely reverse, or news comes out, or I completely misread a chart or something like that, then you have to trust the process. And I should be seeing 7, 8, 10 people right now saying, thanks for the call, I'm up 50%, 100%. So that's what I mean. Like, I don't know what people are doing. Yep. Have a little faith in me. I cut at 25%. SPY calls for morning cut a bit early, but road till some green at least. All right, brother. I don't know. See, this is what breaks my heart, bro. Like you show people who's who in this business, and then like you take a loss, and then they all jump ship. People take 1 or 2 losses and they mentally jump ship. It's a shame. Really is a shame. Did Intel go green on this pump? Oh, right to the trend line. For me, you won't have to worry. Took loss after loss last week. It's all a learning process, and I won't be going anywhere. My man. My man, Keith Richards. Hey, it's Marcel. What's going on, bruh? SPY calls for the win, baby. As is tradition, early, but not wrong. Oh, yeah. Looking good. Look at that oil just going. Still going. Still going. Whew. Damn. I mean, it's up over 1%. Honestly, USO calls might still be in play. You can see this tightening. Look, you can see the greens. Look, 3 of the last 4 sessions, straight green. Bouncing off the bottom. Right now, if I drew this trend line across, we're technically above that trend line, above resistance. We're above this trend line, and we're above the moving average. So USO calls, I mean, right here, in my opinion, oil can easily climb at least $1 more per barrel, which of course would make USO calls go up. So that's an idea. Reversal at 12:30. Yep. I know if we stick with it, we'll be up a lot over time. Yep. Okay. Have a little faith in me. Oh, White Tiger lost his faith in me. Once again, you see the method to my madness. And sometimes I make calls where, you know, someone will post like a chart on DraftKings. And it'll look like, you know, there's like a 90% chance that it'll go down. But I'll mention DraftKings calls at that time, right? And if it doesn't work out, or I'm early, or it's a loss, whatever, people will want an explanation, right? And what they're not understanding is the reward outweighs the risk. Just like Skell said with his SPY calls, right? I mean, we were early. We went down first. Started to come back a little bit here. Went lower. And then we started to climb, and now boom. Up 150%. Right? So, some of my option calls may be incorrect. They may make no sense. They may be very speculative. But those are the ones that pay. And you notice that when we do get a call right, it's at least 50%, 150%, 400%. You understand? So unless we're really struggling to play the ticks, and unless we're really playing like a tight channel of something like a SPY, then even though, you know, like we'll call a scalp or whatever, sometimes you can make a quick 10, 20%, you know, if markets aren't moving too much. But in general, in my opinion, if you take an option position and you only see like 10, 15, 20%, it really wasn't a good option play, in my opinion. And that's why, again, you know, I'll take losses along the way. But when I am right, it is 100%, 300%. Like the returns are huge. Hey, brother, if you're up nice, you can take your money and run. Of course, it just spiked and then dropped, so I'd wait for it to come back up. Especially if you make a good call on earnings, the returns are huge. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Bro, aim small, miss small, aim small, hit big. It's that simple. Hey, Walma, how you doing, brother? Yeah, no, it looks like the S&P is going to continue to go higher. Have a little faith in me. When you talk about options, do you mean only options? Or can you also use warrants and certificates for this perf? Certificates meaning shares, I'm assuming? If the company does have, you know, a publicly listed warrant, yeah, I mean, I guess. Because obviously that would move with the stock as well. You could do it that way if you'd like. But, yeah, in general, I mean, again, sometimes it's a quick trade, like, right, like we're talking, you know, like on a SPY or something like that, but, yeah, in general, again, something like a DraftKings, when it was down at, like, the mid-higher 20s, I even said in the Discord, in my opinion, I would consider starting to accumulate shares here at this level. So, usually, if I mention calls, like, shares are also in that category. But again, that is also a specific question relating to your financial situation. Bada bing, bada bada boom. I mean, 1-day certificates. Germany options are not that easy to buy, and taxation product costs crazy high. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. There's a couple of people in here. Same thing. They're in the same region you are. They're in Europe. Certain European countries, I know, people say, they tell me, oh, if we can find something that can make long-term profits, that'd be much better for us because we're taxed out of our ass. And again, which is fine. I've made so many videos and did so much analysis on long-term calls. In my opinion, you guys in that demographic should have more than enough options to choose from. About something like a CXW, like we said, huh? Up! Up! We're on the path. We're on a projected path. Ow. Ow. My back. I feel like my whole back has to crack, and it's just not. I'm just looking for a geesh. Woo, look at that S&P. Woo! Woo, doggy. There's a lot of smaller and again, it really depends, too. Marcel, let me know, like, where, if you want a company local to you, I could try to do a little bit of research, but in general, again, we can, you know, there are long-term plays that will grow and compound onto itself, right? Like one of these blue chip dividend-paying stocks. There are also smaller, longer-term up-and-coming companies, right? Our hydrographs, our microbots. You have cheap grandfather tech companies, in my opinion, that you can buy. Things like Xerox and BlackBerry. Or, of course, if you want to be more safe, you could always buy something like Waste Management, Coca-Cola, and just drip those dividends over time. So that's why, again, I mean, you know, I'm pretty confident I check almost all the boxes here on this channel. Or I have, at least, over the last 3.5 years. I have tried to bring everyone stocks in multiple different sectors, stocks of multiple different sizes, stocks at multiple different phases of their business. People ask me, oh, I don't understand options. Could you make options video? I made like 2-3 options videos. And people are in here, you know, and they still don't know what to do. Or, you know, they'll ask me, wait, what are we buying? Wait, how do I sell this? You know, again, not to be a schmuck, man. I can't help you if you're not going to help yourself. No one's going to take care of you but you. So the more you do on your end is just going to complement what I'm doing. And it's just going to make the whole situation move along more swimmingly. Yeah, you're welcome, brother. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I know you're overseas and I know the taxes are different, so yeah, if you ever want to the hell was that? Sound like it was dragging some. But if you ever want to discuss like long-term stocks, growth plays or dividend companies, let me know. We'll keep an eye on a couple of things. We'll look around, see what looks good for you. Hey, D, how you doing? To me, Nokia was good because no currency float. Yep, that's another good one. Nokia, perfect. That's what I'm. Honestly, I've looked at so many companies. I made so many great calls. I don't even realize how good I am. And then someone will randomly be like, "Yo, did you see like Nokia?" And that's what I mean. And it's like all of a sudden, it's a powerhouse. It's up big. It's a huge winner. And nobody was paying attention, right? Nobody cared. Look at that. Look at that. I was talking about this stock at like 3.25, 4.5, 5.25, and I was like, yeah, it's old brand name company. They're restructuring. In general, I think it's undervalued. It pays a dividend, right? The whole time it paid a dividend. Look how low the beta is. Again, the beta, volatility of a stock in relation to the overall volatility of the market. The stock is 1/3 as volatile as major indices. Right? Did anyone really get into it before like here? No. And that's what I mean. It's like the videos are there, the analysis is there. You guys, you have more than enough options. Everyone should know exactly what to do, especially if you actually listen to what I have to say, because you guys know I don't go off a script. So there may be tidbits of information in a random video from a year ago that will completely help you today. And in the past, I always spoke about diversification, have some dividend stocks in your portfolio. Everyone should have hedge plays, keep an eye on the volatility, keep an eye on the yields. Gold and silver are good hedge plays. And that's what I mean. That's why on a day like today, this morning, when we see a big drop, the fact that so many people are like, oh my God, I'm red. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. That's what fucking grinds my gears. Because there is more than enough content for you to know exactly what to do in this situation. So again, sometimes, I might be bipolar, I might jump down someone's throat, I might come off like a prick. But think about what I just said and put yourself in my shoes. That's why I get upset. Personal favorite for a dividend is Neos. You have mentioned them, yes. Love Nokia. Well, I mean, markets technically continued up to BS highs, and now we're having some volatility, and we're having some emotions, and we're having some selling pressure. So the fact that you went through all of that and your account is flat, in my opinion, is actually a very good sign. Hershey staying up, took that next leg higher. Dollar coming down, though. Technically, should make Hershey less attractive. But it may just pump with everything else, so we have to see. Would you look at CXW and Swibby? Can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Yep. It's a good old saying right there. And it is true. And it is true. That's why, again, people like, wait, I bought the wrong option. How do I do this again? It's like, yo, shame on you, bro. Shame on you. You have no one to blame but yourself. I don't care if you did something wrong, you took a loss. I don't care. I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care. CXW right on projected path. I'd be all over this freaking stock. I don't care if they drop it to 11. I'd be buying like a freaking animal. It's my opinion. Cocoa has been crashing, which is good for Hershey. Yes, I understand. But it's also been stable and staying green because the dollar has been stable and climbing and it pays a dividend. There's a method to my madness. Other one was Swibby. Swibby, back below trend lines. I mean, last time it was down here, high 7s, low 8s. We beat earnings. We popped up to 10 1/3, right? So now we're bringing them back down, and we have earnings coming up in 2-3 weeks, right? So in my opinion, you start buying this dip down here, low 8s, high 7s, catch that bounce back to the moving average going into earnings. You can flip it for the profits, most of it, and leave a couple of runners, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. Whatever you do with this information is entirely your own prerogative. Sorry, I have to say that. How far out for Intel calls? It doesn't even want to break that line. That's what I mean. You could come down there, even though it really shouldn't. I don't know, 2 weeks? 3 weeks? And if we're early and it's down at the end of the week, you know, you could always average down. Hopefully markets don't implode. Yeah, all right. Well, I mean, shares in general, right? If you buy here a 20, 780, and then it bounces back to 9 going into earnings, right? That's what I mean. If you want, you could sell the bulk of the shares or you can hold them through earnings. But either way, in my opinion, it looks like it's at that key level. And of course, it could drop back down lower if markets reverse back down. But as we say, every stock can do that. So that's what makes it so difficult. But yeah, Swibby long term, I mean, still, again, brand name American company. I mean, I know sales have been a little light, but they still pay you a dividend. In general, I believe the stock is undervalued. Last time we looked at the numbers, I still like it. I mean, again, from here, conservatively, even if we're talking about holding shares, you know, if we go from low 8s back up to 10 and change, 10 1/4, I mean, that's 25%. So there's some money to be made there, you know. But yeah, you know, up to you. But I still like it. I still like it. Millions of calls just came in for Intel Feb 2640 strike price. Yeah. Because it's going to bounce back on the technicals, in my opinion. And number 2, you're going to have the January effect, right? So they buy out for February. That's a layup, in my opinion. Lucio! Aw, boo! You suck! Driving along in my automobile. It's alright, Lucio. Good thing for you. You know who's who. You listened. And you made money already, so you can drive all you want now. Driving along on my automobile. Rumors of Saudi investment into Intel after they met. I don't know if it's true. Seeing on Twitter. Yeah, they probably will. I mean, these companies are publicly traded, right? So even if one of these random people buy it in size, as long as they disclose it, I mean, they can do whatever they want. But that does sound plausible. But again, either way, whether we get that Saudi investment or not, again, Trump, converted those grants into roughly a 10% stake. And again, as I said, that was one of our leading tech companies. They weren't going to let it fail. So it should be fine in general. Short term, long term, options, shares, doesn't matter. And I said the same thing at 18, 19, 21, 23, and nobody listened, and the stock went to 40. So again, I know what I know. The rest is up to you. I don't know. I don't know. I think I should have swapped Swibby for Coke. Coke is a beast. Yes. Obviously, yeah, you should have. It's all hindsight. Yep. What do you know? Coke. New 52-week high. 162.68. Look at this stock. And then they want to bitch to me when an option doesn't work out. They want to bitch to me that it's not working out well. They don't know what to do. Hey, I made videos about this back in the day and did multiple updates over the years. Did you ever buy it? Oh, no, I never bought that one. Oh, okay. All right, then. Okay. So we're going to go over this one real quick. Okay. So we did a 10-for-1 split right here. Okay. I believe I did the first video back here at roughly $550 a share pre-split. Stock went up to $1,500 a share, right? So I made you 200% over the long term, less taxes, with the dividend dripping the entire time. Then it split 10-for-1. So if you were in already, blessed. On the flip side, all of the pikers said, oh, it's too expensive, I have to wait for the split. Okay, fine. It split down to $100 a share. The stock now almost hit 163 in about 6 months. So in 6 months' time, post-split, you are up over 60% plus dividends. And they really want to bust my balls and think they're entitled to explanations when shit like this is flying right past them. That's what I mean. I don't give a shit who says I have an attitude, who unfollows me, who talks shit to someone. I don't care. Because I can guarantee none of those people even know this company exists. Do you understand the difference? Levels to this shit. What a fucking call, man. 200% pre-split. And then another 65 almost percent post-split? Are you kidding me? And this isn't NVIDIA, right? This isn't overvalued. We don't have 18 institutions taking a position. No one on fucking Reddit's talking about this or tweeting about this, right? Which once again proves my point. They need me. I do not need them. You could take X and Reddit and shut them down tomorrow and we wouldn't skip a beat. That's why I'm the fucking man in this sector. But yes, Coke doing very well. Are we feeling on the Tesla call play here? What? Did I say Tesla calls? I'm so confused. Let's see. I said Intel calls, Hershey puts. Yesterday, Spy, Intel, Disney, Tesla puts early on. You did this morning. No, you never said calls. I meant, okay, see? I use certain words for a reason. And yes, thank you, Killian. I use certain words for a reason. I will now reread what I said in main chat. Tesla potentially flagging for you, 410 plus possibly coming soon. And let me just see when I said that for you. Okay, that was at 1:02. Yep, right there. Right there. I said, bang, look at that. I said Tesla potentially flagging, could possibly hit 410 plus. Right? We spoke about the potential. And this, it's funny because this is where the S&P flattened out. Look. We ran up here. Look, 102, I said it. Potential bull flag. And look, it even looked like the S&P was bull flagging also. And then look, we had some ups and downs, but we're flat, and then we came down a little bit. And you see that whole time, look, Tesla just slowly pulling back. Which means if, and hopefully when, the S&P pops and takes that next leg higher to 6,700, hopefully, as expected, then your Tesla will be here. Do you understand? Do you understand? Fantastic. There's always potential. Oh, look at oil. Look at oil. Kept going, right? What'd I say? Over here, I said, oh, you can grab USO calls if you want. Look at that. You're up already. Huh? Look at that. Why does it taste so sweet? Because it's like candy. All right. Hold on. I got to do something. I'll be right back. Okay. Wow. You guys bought Hershey Coles, right? Dividend pay is holding steady. Yep. 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 Yeah, don't worry about MBOT. It'll be alright. Everything'll be alright. $2. Whew. Look at that. That baby wants to hold. 194, 194, 195. If I extend this out. Mmm. Mmm. Could see a break. What's this? 181. Yeah, could see a break to 181 potentially. There's potential here. 194 to the 194. Bang. Now we unextend. Bang, 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 bang. Whoosh. Bang. Whoosh, whoosh. It's very possible. It is possibly possible that that happens. And on the run. Hold on. Let me check my account and see if I'm rich, huh? Nope. H-graph back green, though. That's good. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. How's a GT holding up? Oh, my goodness. Yep. Yep. Not too shabby. Oh, man, look at that chart, bro. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This freaking thing's ready to skadoosh! Skadoosh! Every sound effect you could think of is percolating. Boom! Pow! Kablam! Back and to the right. Back and to the right. Follow our Fibonacci square. Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum. Oh man, I love this shit, man. I really do, man. Really do. Yep. Oil's still going. Still going. Yep. Look at this. We got gold and silver climbing up now. Oh. Dollar dropping. They're dropping their dollar. Yeah, they're dropping their dollar. They're dropping their dollar. Oi. You sweetheart, it's $1.25. You notice the hydrograph pump wore off for the time being, and you notice everybody left, right? I mean, we were bumping when hydrograph was on the move, right? Regarding Goodyear, what do you think about the European competitors, Continental, Pirelli? It could be in regards to taxation, better of us here in Europe. That is a very good point. You are in Europe, right? So if you want to purchase a different one, that is very understandable. In my opinion, I just think in general, GT is undervalued. And also, if the competitors... I also think it could be a potential takeout candidate as well, right? I mean, what, the market cap right now, I think it's only like 2 or 3 billion or something like that. I mean, so even some of these other companies or a private equity firm, somebody could come in, throw like 4.5, 5 bill, scoop the company up. For you personally, Continental. All right, so then buy it. So then buy it, bro. Honestly, trust your gut. Again, you know, I'm here in the States, right? So I was looking at GT, but you make a good point. So Continental is probably doing a little bit better also with the margins and shit as well. So, but pretty soon, it's almost inevitable that basically every sector consolidates for the most part. I've also seen people think SOC might get investment from Trump. Offshore oil stock, federal waters, right off California coast. And why would it be SOC? Oh my goodness. This was a SPAC, I assume. What? Oh yeah? All of a sudden? Okay. I don't know, man. Newsom's been acting like a bitch. Look at the debt they're holding. It's crazy, bro. Oh, man. Yeah, right. That's because I know what I know. That's because I know what I know. I mean, this is pure speculation. And of course, I still say one of the main reasons something like this goes on everyone's radar is because it was a SPAC that came out, did nothing, and now is down big, and now they try to, you know, buy in and squeeze the SPAC. Yeah, I think I spoke about this one in the Trump video. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, doctor said I need a backiotomy. A bitty beep beep. Bitty beep beep beep. Should I watch Sopranos? Well, That's obviously a racist question, being that you asked that to me, right? And I don't know what your angle here is. Did you never seen it? Trying to be a wise name. My opinion, Sopranos, one of the best shows ever made. Oh no! If you've honestly never seen The Sopranos, I know people, and listen, I know people like their newer shows, and people told me like, oh, you should binge like Breaking Bad and stuff. I don't know. I did a couple seasons. I mean, it was all right. Don't get me wrong. Like, I definitely understand the appeal. When it was out, it was one of the hottest shows. I get it. I get it. But if we're talking about some of the best writing, some of the most authentic dialogue, and of course, if we're just talking about flawless acting, it's The Sopranos. James Gandolfini was absolutely unforgettable as Tony Soprano, in my opinion. I'm the decider? Okay. Better Call Saul. Yeah, I know. Yeah, they spun that off that. And that's what I mean. Those shows, they were good, they were popular, but Sopranos, I'm telling you, they don't make shows like that anymore. Because it doesn't have that level of authenticity. Excuse me. And that guy, Paulie Walnuts, the guy who played Paulie Walnuts, Tony Sirico, he was living in Brooklyn and actually ran into him a few times. And he was actually not a made guy, but he was like, kind of like a soldier, I guess you could say, with the Colombo family. So, someone like Paulie, he actually went through it. And that's why I think also the writing was so spectacular. Because they actually had some of these guys who were in it, helping them with the writing and how someone would react to what somebody would say. All of that was authentic. And of course, we all heard the stories about the wise guys reaching out to Tony Soprano, well, James Gandolfini, and the rest of the cast, right? There's one scene where one of the guys tells Gandolfini, a Don doesn't wear shorts. And, a lot of people don't know, if you watch like the behind the scenes kind of documentary about the show, they tell you that they had a random wise guy call them up and say that. And then they put it in the show. You know what I'm saying? So, definitely some of the best writing, some of the most authentic, and James Gandolfini was born for that role. So, they really don't make shows like that anymore. So, if you want to go back and you want to see what a great show was, you watch The Sopranos. HBO was on fire at that time. They were on fire. It's like every freaking program they had was like some of the best shit on TV. So, in my mind, that was like the best of the best. Definitely worth your time. You should definitely watch The Sopranos. Sopranos was great. Yeah, no, it really was. It really was. Watch those two mob bosses debate on YouTube. I don't know what that is, but you should watch The Sopranos. Oh. And what bothers me too is I'll quote The Sopranos sometimes and nobody really knows what I'm talking about. That bothers me. Because if it's one of the best shows ever made, your ass should know about it. Need that S&P bounce back, Lou. Wait, hold on, though. You guys are in Tesla calls. So what? You have until Friday? What strike do you guys own over there? Bupkis. Say bupkis, Paulie. Say bupkis. That's how they say nothing. Sammy the Bull versus the other guy. Yeah, Sopranos was awesome. But like I said, all those shows, you know why? I'll tell you why right now. It's because you see the type of movies and shows and entertainment we're getting today. Right? It's all technology, AI, CGI. That's why I think, in my opinion, like the 90s and even like the early 2000s, that was the best of the best. That was the best of the best. Even if you go back, there's a reason why movies like the original Independence Day still hold up and we still love them, right? And it's because at that point, movies, in my opinion, were A++. They put a lot of effort into them. The writing was significantly better because they couldn't just have green screens do everything. Now, the dialogue, the script, everything actually sucks, and you just have pretty colors and explosions and shit, and everyone says it's a good movie. You know what I mean? So that's why I think, in my opinion, like that's like when the best crap came out, like in the 90s, the early 2000s, because that's when we were like still trying to do it the best we could, and the technology caught up a little bit, so now we were able to do like even more intense movies. But now it's just all technology. 410 strike Friday. All right, so hang out again. I still think the S&P comes up here, brother, which should bring Tesla up, right? So let's just hang out, see how it looks. They were arguing who was tougher. Rockies 1 through 4. Oh yeah. A real tough wise guy says nothing, by the way. Yeah, no, everything's an agenda. Everything's an agenda. 100%. They make a movie just to talk about how, whatever, this special group of people are so awesome. Or they'll make a movie to try to show you how, women are awesome. Or they'll make a movie to show you, how smart kids are. It's just always some dumb shit, and it's just not real anymore. And again, I know it sucks to go back, and everybody wants to watch something new, but that's why I still say, if you want to see some of the best movies and watch some of the best shows, you need to go backwards. But yeah, off on a little tangent, but yeah, White Tiger for real. You should definitely watch Sopranos. Really, really good show. And again, they were on that was like, I think Sopranos was on maybe for like a year or two. And then I think they came out with The Wire. So people were watching Sopranos, they were watching Wire. Ozarks I actually heard about. I heard it was good. I never watched Ozarks. But HBO, I mean, Boardwalk Empire. I don't know if you guys saw Boardwalk Empire. It's about like the immigrants who set up the families during the Prohibition and stuff. Lucky Luciano, Al Capone. That was another really good show too, because again, it was just like a couple of years after Sopranos, right? It was still early 2000s. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, the writing was still there. And that's why Sopranos, The Wire, Boardwalk Empire, like, these are classic shows for a reason. Hey, Slick, how you doing, brother? Happy to have you. Gotta watch Breaking Bad. Yeah, I know. People told me they were like, oh, I know it might not be perfect, but, watch it through, really good show. I'll go back to it. But again, something like that, it just didn't seem authentic to me. I think I watched like the first 2 seasons or something. What? That was on like AMC also, right? And that's what I mean. Like, you're making a show about meth dealers, but you're putting it on cable TV, and like they can't really talk about it. Like, you can't. It just wasn't authentic dialogue. That's what broke my heart. Because as soon as I started watching the show, I was like, yeah, it's a pretty decent show. If it was on like HBO, it'd be phenomenal. That's the first thing I said to myself. But again, I technically didn't watch the whole series through, so I could be wrong. I know people like it, so again, I'm not crapping on it. Just a small criticism that I have. I've heard Prison Break is good, but never watched. Yeah, no, me either. Yeah, I'm telling you, Lou, that's what bro, we know what we know. But in general, though, right? Like, they spun off the Better Call Saul, right? Like that show, no problem on AMC, right? So that's what it really comes down to. It comes down to it's the type of content and the type of show that we're talking about. And that's why something like Breaking Bad, I mean, they're manufacturing their own freaking crystal meth. The guy's a drug kingpin. I mean, you're going to tell me they wouldn't be throwing around F-bombs like crazy and doing even wilder shit than they showed you on the show? Like, you know what I'm saying? And again, like, they obviously did the best they could because everyone loved the show. But, if it was on, whatever, like Showtime or something, you know what I'm saying? They could have went just a little extra further and it would have been that much more unforgettable. Because it would have been more real. But again, like I said, I watched, I think pretty much like the first 2 seasons, I think. I mean, it was a good show. I know I see the clips all the time. I know people talk it up. So again, not bashing it. That's just how I feel about it. That's just me. That's just me. Look at that Tesla, Lou. Look at that Tesla. With every tick, he gets more and more calm. Peaky Blinders, yeah, I heard about that one too. The Bronx Tale, yeah, they don't make them like that anymore. That's what I mean. All those older movies, that's what I mean. They all had the best writing, the better actors, obviously, because they had less technology, right? So they actually had to know how to act. Bronx Tale, actually a true story. A lot of people don't know that. That is like actually the story of how Robert De Niro grew up. A lot of people don't know that. So like what you see in that movie was kind of like his childhood. Like what his son, Calogero, in the movie goes through. Like that's what he went through growing up in the Bronx. Or so they say. So they say. But yeah, I mean, again, it's really the writing. That's what it comes down to. It all comes down to the writing. And those movies back in the like the 80s and the 90s, I mean they lost that, man. Whatever they were doing back then, they do not do anymore. It's that simple. Because if they did, the movies would be fine, right? All right, you guys watch this. We're looking for about 6690 here plus. I'm looking for a pop back up to this line. And then we could potentially even pop up here, believe it or not, to potentially 6710. Keyword potentially. All right. We got some potential here, all right? All right, I'll be right back. Go down here. Still bouncing around. Okay. Okay. I mean, I feel like it. Huh. Do we bounce and make a slightly higher high and then break? What time is it? Very, very interesting. Hershey. Yeah, still staying up, right? Yeah, we talked about it like down here or some shit. Bitch. I was, like I said, with the indices climbing back up and the smaller caps rebounding, I thought something like Hershey would start to sell off, you know? But, you know, could still be right. Might just be early. LEC, $5. Fubo bouncing back. DraftKings, 29.5. Very nice. Palantir, not down too much. Yeah, Tesla, basically, that's exactly what the S&P just did. So Tesla, your guys' Tesla calls. I mean, yeah, it's almost like tick for tick. So your guys' Tesla calls is going to come down to what the S&P wants to do. It looks like. So could be good. Could be bad. However, again, I think it was what yesterday. Right? Tesla, they got that nice little catalyst. The stock was up like 4% or something before we jumped in puts. So technically, that's why I think even on a day like today, like it's not even down that much, right? It's only down a couple of points. Because chances are, that's what I mean. Like if the S&P starts climbing back up and like markets would to go green tomorrow, hypothetically, like something like Tesla is going to go back up. You know what I'm saying? Because they just got good news, in my opinion. So oh, I just cracked my neck. Damn. I'll tell you, man. Sometimes you wake up, you just start falling apart. Am I right or am I right? I mean, my job is to like sit here and try to help you guys. And my neck hurts, my back hurts. I feel like I've been doing manual labor over here. It's crazy. This is still down here. Hmm. Interesting. Very, very interesting. It's really not too much of a... It's coming back in. Yeah, see, the margins weren't hefty enough to combat the tariffs. And then, of course, they obviously had a dip in revenue. That definitely wouldn't help anybody. Um, Tariffs went up, debt shot up. Cash flow did improve, though, technically. Ending its partnership with Steph Curry. Curry run independently. Under Armour. Hey, Deli, how you doing? Make any money yet? Well, not me, but maybe other people. This actually isn't too bad. I just have a feeling we're like a little bit early. That's too much of an extreme. So yeah, we're gonna have to go there. So let me see something. 739. Ah, shit. Yeah, see, that's actually not good at all. Let me see something. Let me see something. Yeah, I kind of held it in line. Share amount barely went up. Huh. Very interesting. What's our high here? Double 27.28. $15, 15. Wow, it's below this line also? My goodness. They do not like this company right now. Yep. Yep. Yeah, it's right there. Hey, alright. Nice, Lou. Nice. That's what I like to hear, baby. That's what I like to hear. Now, wait. Actually, what about year to date? What about year to date? When was this? Okay. Okay. Let's, 9. But we're going to have to make this a different color because I can't tell what the hell's going on now. Okay, and what is this? 478. Stay with me. Yo. Yo. I think this is setting up for something big. Technically just beat. I don't know, man. I know what. I did a video a while back. I want to say it was like in the 6s or something, right? We were talking about a big gap down from like 13, if I remember. And we were in like this sideways channel for like a year and a half or something on Under Armour. And I remember, again, we looked at the chart, and as we know, nothing's guaranteed, but according to the technicals, it looked like it was going to climb up, right? The numbers were decent at the time. And, I was basically just betting that it was going to eventually break out of that sideways channel and then climb up back to like 13 and fill that gap. So we were looking for like a double kind of from the share price. And as you see, they had different plans. Yeah, right here. See this gap down? Yeah, 13 and change. And we were looking at this and this, because we haven't looked at it in like the last couple of quarters. But we were looking at this sideways channel, and I was expecting a climb up back here, fill the gap. Everyone's happy, right? And obviously, you can see, we kept talking about tariffs, and it just seems like a lot of investors just jumped ship and felt that there were better opportunities elsewhere. And while I do agree with them, I think it's back in play now. If NVIDIA earnings fall short, do you expect the whole market to pull back? Yes. The whole market was pumped up because of NVIDIA. We got here because of NVIDIA, and I remember saying that in the past, too. If for any reason they start missing earnings or all of a sudden demand slows or anything like that, that's it. Party's over. Party's over. And of course, you got the big boys recently liquidating positions in NVIDIA, stocks like Palantir, right? Literally all the meme BS, overinflated fake stocks that I used to talk about, all of a sudden the volume and the big money and the smart money's flowing out of them. That's why, again, I'll say it. I may have been early, but I wasn't wrong. I'm not wrong. You think they miss a beat? I don't know. I'd have to look at the numbers. Is it today? Tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow. Tomorrow. Well, as we also spoke about in the past, or I have anyway, miraculously, these analysts are able to the freaking 10,000th decimal place sometimes. They're able to nail exactly what these companies are reporting for their revenue on their estimates. But somehow with NVIDIA, they're always, 10, 20, 30% below estimates, and it's always such a phenomenal beat. People try to tell me this shit ain't fake. Numbers don't lie. Tomorrow morning? It's usually after the close. You sure it's in the morning? You see almost the same at Puma, down 70% over 1 year. Yeah, they're beating them up. That's why I think I remember I even said back in my Trump video, which I think was like January of this year. I said, in my opinion, the tariffs are going to be beating up a lot of these companies that were taking advantage. So I mentioned pretty much all clothing, apparel, footwear stocks are probably not going to perform very well. But now again, also, I believe a lot of the Trump cuts and whatnot, all of those tax changes are now coming in 2026. You got to keep that in mind as well. Yeah, we could check on that time. Wednesday after close. 54.9 billion. They literally let this company just take over the world. Well, of course I think it's overvalued, so again, even if they're like a guaranteed to beat, I would buy puts just for the fuck of it. Because I'm just that kind of guy. Yes, it keeps rejecting off 665 because if it breaks, it's going to like 672. That's why they're holding it down. Yeah, man. I like the puts too. And they're probably cheaper, right? Because it's probably coal heavy. Work smarter, not harder. That's why I always say, man, there's a method to my madness, man. See the way we're topping out? See the way we're topping out? We're looking for like one of these skadoosh. We're looking for a little skadoosh. Skadoosh. That's what we're looking for. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, baby. Ho, ho, baby. Yeah, baby. Oh, baby. Oil staying up. What's the dollar doing? Let's see how the dollar looks. Oh, no. I don't know. Dollar, I mean, if they don't, we have to see them continue to step this down, because if we're wedging and tightening, then the dollar is going to pop up, which is going to cause everything to drop back down. So right here, look, you see where we gapped up right there? Just below 99.51. Right? So we can continue to step it down here, fill that gap, and then they could explode it. So again, I don't say these things to scare you. I say them so that if it happens, you are prepared. But it does kind of look like they want to keep stepping this up. Still got over 45 minutes to go. I need 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Hey. Hey. How we looking, huh? How we doing here? What do we got right here? Oh, yeah. Let's go. Looking for a 25-point run. But, I mean, it technically broke this trend line, right? Not yet. Not yet. Dropping a pop. Dropping a pop. Right into the close. Oh yeah, I mentioned. So today after the close, we got Color, Dolby, Carlisle, Powell, Starbulk, Lazy Boy. Tomorrow morning we have Target, Wix, what's that, TJ Maxx, Lowe's. I think, in my opinion, possibly Kohl's on Dolby. Last time I looked, it was potentially overvalued, but again, as we see here, boom. Oh, I'm so damn good at this shit, man. If we were to come up, that'd be like right there. Okay, not too bad. 305. Maintain, outperform, neutral. Dolby unveils next gen picture innovation. Maintain, buy. Okay, very nice. We get a dividend. Okay. I used to like this one all the time back in the day in like the 30s. Yeah, you can see back here, like when I was a broker, it was like 30, 32. Still up year over year. That should be a layup, honestly. Oh, that should be a layup. Everything's been kind of holding. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. This is a buy. This is a buy. Just double check some technicals here. Okay. Okay. There we go, 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 there we go. Okay, okay, okay. Where are we? 14 and a half. That's too extreme. Well, not too extreme. Anything can happen, of course. This should be our lower support. Yep. Okay, we can try to go across the body. Uh, mm-hmm. 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 This should go. It should go like there. Okay. 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 And that was all from there. There it is. This is looking like a buy. Oh, S&P broke trend line. Hi-oh. Not looking good. Not looking good. Oh, we gotta see. Was it a flash crash? Up. Up. Whew. Look at this bullshit. Up. Head fake. Head fake. ah. Oh, shit. Ah, you gotta love it. You gotta love that shit. So yeah, one earnings play. Not only for earnings, but also long term, in my opinion, Dolby Labs coming out with earnings today. Okay, I'm gonna type this everyone. ELB calls and Sharon. Yep, and we're back above the line. Head fake. Head fake. Also was looking for Williams Sonoma. Yeah, okay. Yeah, although you're talking shit about it already. It's 2-for-1. Powerhouse. That's there. That's there. That's there. That's there. Do they get there? What is that? 1975. Wait a minute. What does that look like? It's not. Oh yeah, what is this? 24.5. 125 and a third. They are so smart with this shit. Like in Hmm. It is fighting. It is fighting. Pump it louder. Pump it louder. A with the dollar rising. Here we go. Here we go. Setting them up for a skidoo. Looking for the pop. Pa-da-pop-pop. Pa-da-pop-pop. This guy Sleek's like an annoying liberal. Fucking annoying me. I'll stretch my legs real quick and we'll catch the close. Oh. Yeah, what I say? Dolby. And what's the other one too? Color. I know people like color. Let's see how they look. It's the reverse. Joke. I mean, this could technically be kind of like a wedge it's in. Didn't they get orders or something though in the past or something? What is this? Okay. What was that about? 5 weeks ago. Likely deleted the article. Hmm. This is interesting. I don't know, man. I actually think they break it lower. I think they break this lower. I don't know. To tell you the truth, I don't even know if I'd touch it, but I don't know. It's like one of those things where, if they happen to surprise and everything's great, like, they're gonna pop it. And I can also see it like just not being up to par, and then they tank it to like $1 and change. Cause according to the split, I mean, we could go lower if we look at it in those proportions. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I trust something like that. S&P back below trend line. Less than 15 minutes to go. Yeah, it looks like they might just break it lower here. And there it goes. Oh, we could only get so far. Again, I was talking about what? 66.60. Never quite broke up and out to the next trend line, though. Got about halfway there. And rejected. Down now, down over 450 again. NASDAQ over 250. Dollar is only slightly coming up, but we are breaking. We are breaking our daily support. Oh man, sorry to hear that. Yeah, we got Hershey maybe coming back down. Tesla just followed the S&P. Remember, though, we've seen crazy things happen in the last few minutes. So, for all you know, I mean, we could be seeing a premature break here, and then we could pump in the last 6 minutes or something. You have no idea. Yep. I need a drink, though. I'll be right back. Here we go. Pump it louder. Pump it louder. See, it wasn't that bad out. Now I'm cold again. I'm cold. Oil, baby. Woo! Look at that. Look at that strength. Strength and honor. Reschedules report. Couple of scheduling errors, eh? Eh? If anybody could send me hot chocolate, let me know. Hold on 1 second. Let me check my account here, see if I'm rich. Age graph up 6 1/3% now. Mbot trying to hold green. This account logged me out. Sure, why not? Why not, these days? Why not? Hot cocoa drones. $1 billion business right there. And it's the final countdown. $66.20 it looks like. Mm. Mm. Yep. 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 Oh, 66.20. Sub 66.20. Back to 66.20. Sub 66.20. Back to 66.20. Sub 66.20. Oh. Oh no. He's a fighter. Oh, oh no. There you go, Deli. There you go. Sometimes we gotta take action. Looking for the Dolby. All right. All right. Looking for the Dolby. Antonio told him quiet piggy. Ah! Shit. That's funny. Oh, yeah. So we can watch color and Dolby both at 415, it says. But we will check Dolby. I mean, this one looked pretty good to me. But then again, what do I know, right? Oh, it's time for an adult beverage. Give me a sec. Okay. Options are insane. Up 150, down 50. That's honestly not that bad. For the type of pullback the SPY had, for you to say you're only down 50, that's actually not that bad. So, hopefully, you know, if we open flat, we get some buyers, or if we open a little green, you'd be very... In my opinion, you probably should open around here. And then try to, like, run back up. Like you were saying, you kept seeing the rejection 665, so... What the hell was all that? Moving into Japan, are we? Greedy fucks. Yeah, you see how quick it could change, you know? So, freaking markets could open flat, they could be quiet for 10, 20 minutes, then all of a sudden, boom, everyone starts buying, you know? We start climbing. That's actually a reason why I love options, honestly. It's a lot of fun. Especially when it works out. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, Killian, I forgot about that. That's a great point. Tomorrow, after hours, we get NVIDIA numbers. So we might have a lot of buying and a lot of pumping all day tomorrow going into those numbers. Which, actually, if we don't get any bad news or anything tomorrow, actually, now that I think about it, if we see where the S&P closed, so if we, like, dip right at the open back down to, like, 6,600 to retest that, in my opinion, you may want to snipe that real quick and jump in anything, really. I mean, probably SPY calls or QQQ calls. But we have to see. We have to see. Have to see how it opens. And we all know sometimes they delay it, right? I mean, we might, you know, open down and sell off for 30 minutes, an hour, and then all of a sudden we bottom and we start climbing going into earnings. Gotta be in it to win it. Ooh, I got a big boy drink. Yeah, well, apparently NVIDIA's taken over the world, so it's fine. It'll all be fine. Everything will be fine. Oh. I don't know about you, but when I get knocked down, I get up again. You are never gonna keep me down. All right, brother. Have a good workout. Have a good evening. Talk to you tomorrow. What do you think would be a realistic market cap for Nvidia? Stock should be down like 60, 70% from where it is. Let's be serious. Let's get real. Oh no, Dolby! No! No! Why? Why? Are you serious right now? Head fake. Damn, bro. Really, bro? Really? I don't know, man. I think we were a little premature. Get a little premature over here. People jumping ship. They're afraid of the big bad earnings, huh? You killer tofu. Ooh wee you killer tofu. Holy crap, I just realized it hit a new 52-week low today. That's wild. That is wild. Numbers look pretty good to me. I don't know if I would have brought it down to a low, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Ah, Marcel, that's my boy. That's my boy right there. Shout out to the Killer Beats. Oh no, the Beats. The Beats, right. Just the Beats. And it was Killer Tofu. That's what it was. That's the classic. The Beats. The Doug Funny Universe Beatles. You Killer Tofu. Ooh, you Killer Tofu. Oh, this is gonna be glorious. I see blue. He looks glorious. Oh, yeah. Whoa. Never let your light shine down. No. Never let your light shine down. I'm on a lady shine. A lady shine. Up. No. They beat on revenue 307. No. No, eyesight. We beat on EPS. No. No, eyesight. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, what is happening? Oh, oh, oh man, this is some bullshit. Nope, under the radar, baby. That's how I like it. Under the radar. Give me no volume right now. Give me no volume. You know what? Because according to the numbers, in my opinion, phenomenal quarter. And you can see, look, instant recovery dropping sub 62 back up to 65. I'm telling you, in my opinion, it's in play. Oh, baby. Up, truck backing up. All the way to the bank. Backing up to the bank. Boom, we're back flat. How you doing? I say, how you doing? Say, how you doing? Oh, what is this? Revenue and non-GAAP earnings rose with fiscal year 26 guidance signaling further growth. Q4 and fiscal year 25 saw revenue growth and strong non-GAAP earnings driven by Dolby Atmos and Vision adoption across new platforms and markets. Fiscal year 26 guidance projects continued revenue and EPS growth with robust margins and ongoing capital returns. Dubs in the chat, dubs in the chat. Dubs in the chat, dubs in the chat. Whoo, look at that candle. Damn. Damn. I love it like this. I love it like this. You're showing me an earnings beat. You're telling me there's more growth coming, and no one knows about this, right? Like you even said, Deli, look, oh, barely any volume. What's going on? Beautiful. You understand? Beautiful. Raises dividend to 36 cents. Verse 33. Earnings beat, future growth, and a 10% dividend raise? Hello? Hello? I said hello. You did. How you like me now? I'll tell you, people just don't understand that there's levels to this shit. No one even knows. This isn't even real yet, you understand? You might have to give this baby 20 minutes. But it's alright, I made a drink. I'll sit here with you. Salud, Chenda. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. My butt is itchy. What does that mean? Am I dirty? Better run your ass through a shower. Whew. Look at that. Look at that. News is so good, didn't even load yet. Look at that. Can't even keep up with it. Grab shares instead of calls. Oh, well, then you just got a phenomenal report then. Fantastic. Good for you. Yeah, you said that before. I didn't put it together. So I thought you jumped in calls. But yeah, shares. Yeah, that's why I mentioned it in the Discord as well. I mean, the numbers look good. And again, we're like all the way down here at support. That's what I mean. That's why, like, now they're bouncing it around. But I really doubt, right? I really doubt we would need markets to really pull back, right? We would need markets to really pull back to see this level. But still, if you think about it, that's really not that big of a drop. That's what, like 15% or something like that. That's not too bad. No volume and options. Okay. Yeah, sometimes as you see, you know, I'll pull up the earnings and I'll just make my call on what, you know, whether we think the stock will beat or miss or whether they're over or undervalued. That's basically, you know, my call. And then, like you said, when you guys go and look and you say, okay, you know, calls on Dolby, oh, there's no volume. So yeah, very good. But remember as well, now with the news, right, now you're probably going to see volume coming into the options tomorrow. right? It's going to be after the fact. The Johnnies are going to bring in the volume. Nah, but shares are good. In my opinion, the numbers look pretty damn good. They just beat earnings again. They just raised the dividend. I like it. Again, I watched it for years. I know I don't think I did a video on it or anything, but I watched it years ago. And yeah, man, they were always solid. They always had good numbers. It was just like a quiet, just slow, just chugging along, just slow, slow. Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. But as I always say, if I do have capital on hand when I make the calls, I usually put my money where my mouth is. So yeah, I mean, if I had like a much bigger portfolio and had a lot more cash to work with, like I mentioned DLB and how it looks to me for a reason, right? So if I had whatever, even an extra whatever, 5-10 grand, I would feel comfortable at this level personally buying shares of DLB. That's why I said it in the Discord. So I believe what I say, and I always stand by what I say. Try and pile into you, don't have diligence. Yeah, no, it's like I said, it's unfortunate because again, running some quick trades, getting some fast money, fine. Analyzing long-term stocks, fine. But again, like diversifying your portfolio, like having the core in like some good growing stocks, maybe some stocks that pay you dividends. Again, right, we talk about like the volatility or even like the gold silver hedge play. Like you have to be laid out correctly. Everyone thinks they could just, I put 10 grand in an account, like, all right, make me a millionaire. Like it's a process. Right now I'm not gonna say specifically what it is, but it's dark rum. I am personally drinking dark rum right now on the rocks. Dolby marginally beats Q4 revenue expectations. Hey, they can use any adjective they want, but a beat's a beat. Salute. A beat is a beat is a beat. Yeah, you like the bourbon? I honestly don't have much of like a liquor shelf. I got like a couple of things. Got like a little bottle of Buca. Put a little Buca in it for me, Tony. A little Sambuca. You know us Italians, we always keep the Sambuca. Little Anisette. But yeah, I just picked up a bottle of rum. I'm not like a big vodka guy. But yeah, brandy. What kind of brandy? Yeah, bourbon, you said. I'm sorry. What kind of bourbon you like? Makers. Yeah, I had Makers before. It's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. I can't lie. They do it well. They hand dip each one of those bottles. That is a good one. Beam 7 year. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about Jim Beam. Yeah, maybe I'll pick up a bottle of that in a couple of days or something. Have a good time. Dolby back to 65. When you get to know him as well as I have, son, it's James Beam. What's that from? Son of a Woman. Right? Was he as yeah, pour me a tall glass of John Daniels. He's like, don't you mean Jack Daniels? When you know him as long as I have, son, he's Johnny. Color mixed. Yeah, well, they're still very small. They're on the up and up. It's gonna take. I know people were speculating about some potential contracts coming in. Gross margin dropped. Net loss widened on higher costs. Revenue 6.8. We're looking for 6. Yeah, okay. So technically beat. Margins down. Stock flat right now. You know why I stayed away from it also? Because they were talking about like potential product revenue growth, but they were also talking about, as we saw, that they had the Bitcoin holding. And Bitcoin, looking back, right, because this is period ending September, so that's July, August, September, and going back, looking at Bitcoin for those 3 months, it went up and then it came back down, so it was essentially flat, right? So the bump and the overflow that they were getting from the unrealized Bitcoin gain holding was not going to be there this quarter like it was last quarter. You understand? So that's why I would have said puts, but as you see, nothing's happened, so not playing it was the best play, apparently. Uh, yeah, there's a bunch of rums. I'm just not saying which one I'm drinking because they don't pay me. But I know there's light rum and there's white rum and there's dark rum. I'm drinking dark rum. Not spiced rum though. Not a fan of spiced rum. It tastes weird to me. Whoo, look at that. Green. I get knocked out, but I get up again. Who else? I feel like I'm missing somebody. We had Dolby Color. Yeah. How'd Star Bulk do? I would have said calls, in my opinion. And I would have been wrong. 33 on 230. Revenue beats estimates. Adjusted EPS 28. Okay. So we missed on EPS, beat on revenue. Raised quarterly dividend to 11 cents. Wow. Really? Really? So, Star Bulk, SBLK, just more than doubled their dividend. Yeah, you make mojitos? Okay, nice. Yeah, I'm just drinking it on the rocks. You know what? It's funny. I used to hate the taste of it, so I would mix it like with soda, a little rum and coke and whatnot. And I was drinking those for a while. Then I said, screw it. Because, like, one day I ran out of coke or whatever. I was like, all right, I'm just going to drink it straight. Then I was just drinking it straight. Then I bought a bottle again, and I was like, oh, I gotta grab some soda. Had it with the soda, and all the sugar was actually starting to make me nauseous. And it was giving me the spins, like, early. Like, right after a drink or so. So, I just switched back to straight, baby. On the rocks. That's it. Love on the rocks. Oh, all right. Star bulk with the dividend pump. It's all about the dividends, baby. Lazy boy. Lazy. Bang bang. I swear I almost said Lazy Boy Calls, but I was like, it's such a toss-up. It is such a toss-up. Yeah, see, that's what Dolby should be seeing. I'm a bitch, I'm a mother. I'm a child, you're my brother. Oh, I feel like I have to sneeze. Yep. Yep. This really should be up. I'm surprised. Let me check something. No action for the Dolby. Well, like I said, in my opinion, this one should be running pre-market, but we'll see what happens. I still like it. The analysis is the analysis. So we'll see what happens, but bit of a mixed day today. I know initially I said SPY calls, so anyone who jumped in had some patience, ended up making some money. Obviously, if we held, we kind of gave it all away. But hopefully it pops back up tomorrow on the NVIDIA hype. DraftKings with a nice strong bounce. Tesla again, sold off, just followed the S&P. Palantir. Let's see, IMD. Okay. All right, so we're gonna cut across here. What's this? Whoops. We're gonna cut across here. $216. $217. $217. AMD 217. Buy zone in my opinion. B&G. Woo! He's heating up. He's heating up. Xerox getting destroyed. Destroy. Destroy. Telling you, you gotta look when no one's looking. Up. Up. It's coming. Boo-boo. Look at SB just chilling. Yeah, I honestly kind of like Campbell's, man. They beat the crap out of this stock, but I like it, man. I like it. Maybe look for a down day tomorrow. When are these earnings? About 2 weeks. I like it. It's been like banged up and forgotten about. Last time I was looking for this, it kept breaking. Only climbed back up to about 34. Wait, where'd this? 34.17. Look, that level right there was 34.27. It stopped a dime shy, and then that's where it started pulling back. I don't know. Like I said, I like to look when no one else is looking. Huh. Well, I know that Microsoft is a heavily weighted stock, so I'm looking to see if it's going to show us where they may want to take the markets. Tomorrow. Yeah, okay. Probably expensive, but Microsoft calls potentially in play. But then it may be short-lived, as we see we are potentially in this wedge. So we can continue to stay in this wedge for about the next 2 weeks. Then we can pop out of the wedge. But they have their dividend payment date on the 11th. Yeah, just something to keep in mind. Could be in play. Check it tomorrow. Antonio letting them have it. All right. Let's recheck Dolby real quick. Actually, yeah, let's recheck color also. Yep, down 3%. Basically back to the moving average there, slightly below trend line. Yeah. Alright, not a big deal. Still small again, color, about 100 million market cap, so it's going to take some time. Once the revenue starts coming in, they'll pump it back up. Dolby just kind of hanging out. Okay. Alright. Well, it was a decent day. Could have been better. And hopefully we have an even better one tomorrow. But I want to thank you all for your time. I appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate your support. Make sure to like the stream. Thumbs up before you leave. Joey Bag of Donuts. We'll see you later. Deli. Have a good night. Slick. Have a good night. If you guys need me, I'll be in Discord. And